Okay, so this video is going to walk you through getting a project set up for class this semester. So I'm going to assume that you have IntelliJ already installed and configured to run properly, and that you've received your email from the system. So we're going to start by grabbing the URL from the email that CS Grader sent you. We're going to check out from version control. We're going to do that from get. And then in this first box is where you will paste that URL. For the parent directory, I highly recommend that you create a folder for where you're going to save things. As you can see, I have created a folder named 244 in my documents and a homework folder as a subfolder. And since we are grabbing a homework assignment, that's where I'm going to put this one. Don't change your directory name, just keep it the same as the repository. When you clone this, it will ask you if you want to save the key. You can go ahead and say yes. The first time you do this, it'll actually ask you for a password. I've done it before, so it won't, and you can say yes to saving your password. After that, it's going to ask you if you'd like to create a project from it. Go ahead and hit yes. This is going to walk you through a full dialog. You can actually just take the default options for all of them. Creating it from existing sources, name of the project can just be the same as what we said earlier. It will recognize where there are sources for this automatically. We have no libraries that we're using, and the module structure that they suggest is fine. The first time you do this, when you come to this screen for setting your SDK, it won't have any. But if you click on the plus button and then do JDK, it actually will take you to the home directory for the Java that you already have installed. And again, I'm assuming you've already installed your JDK. If you haven't, you'll need to do that first. So when you choose that, then 1.8 will pop up. Every other project you import, it'll automatically have this. So you can click next on that. There'll be no frameworks. So basically you can just do all of them as the default setting after you get that JDK set up. Read your tips of the day if you want to. When you first start up, you won't have anything. You can get this dialog over here by just doing Command 1, or alternatively, I don't remember where that is. So when you come in here, you're going to see your source. So here is the base code that I gave with this assignment. So we're going to set up a few things here. First off, we need to set up our testing. So if we right-click on the overall project, we're going to do New, create a directory, and name it Tests. What we're setting up here is to allow us to have our test files separate from our regular source files. So after we create tests, now we're going to right-click on that folder and then come down here and mark directory as, and we want to select test sources root. What we're doing is we're telling IntelliJ that we're going to have tests in this folder. So now that we have that, we can come in here to the Pythagorean, so the actual file. You can do Command-Shift-T. That will bring up this dialog and create a new test. And now, and this is very important, we want to select JUnit 4. And notice it's telling us that the JUnit 4 library is not found. And so we want to fix that. What that's going to do is that it's actually going to add the JUnit jar and a couple of others into the project. That's a one-time action you need to do for any given assignment. Now we're ready to set up our file. So since we're going to test the Pythagorean test, or the Pythagorean, we're going to just leave that name as it is and click OK. And now it's going to ask us if we want to add this file to Get. Since you'll want to submit your test, you should say yes to this. If you come under here, under external libraries, you'll see that now the JUnit has been added. That's what we did when we fixed everything. And so now we can add a test. So add test. public void test 0, and I'm going to assert equals 0, and that Pythagorean dot count triples, if you pass 0 to that, it should give us that there are 0 triples. Okay. For some reason this did not. We need to do the import to get the test. Okay. So now we have a test and we want to run it. So if we come under here, under the run dialog and do the run ... it's going to ask us to configure different things. You want to make sure that you select the entire class, not just the one test. And this is going to build it. And when that is all done, you'll get a report that your test passed. And at this point, if you continue to add more tests, they will all be run together. Good luck finishing this homework assignment.